You're tuned into Capital Jazz TV. I'm your host, Jodine Dorsey. We are on the 17th annual Capital Jazz SuperCruise. Blessing the cruise this year is Kandace Springs. Kandace, how are you?
I'm good. How are you today?
I am fantastic. You have played with Kenny Lattimore.
Yes.
You have done your workshop, well, more of a Q&A, and then you were singing on the cruise. How has the response been since you've been on the cruise?
It's been so good. I feel the love from everybody, and it's just a wonderful time.
This is your first Capital Jazz Super Cruise. You've done the fest, what, twice?
I've
or
done the
three
fest.
times?
Yeah, two times.
Two times,
Yep.
two times. And the Super Cruise once?
Yep.
Is it a different feel from the festival and the cruise? Do you feel the difference?
Not a whole lot. Just the environment, really. The people, just the warmth, and just everybody's into the music and all the artwork. It feels kind of like I'm at the Capital Jazz Fest.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm happy.
Yeah.
It's a
Well,
good time.
I was just so happy to see so many people just like loving on you while you were on the ship today. I mean, on the
Aw.
ship this whole season. It's been great. It's been great to see that type of response from people.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I've been receiving it, and I hope to give it back to you
Yeah.
guys. So you guys inspire me.
Oh,
And,
that's
you,
so fantastic.
You're so wonderful.
Oh,
I appreciate
thank
you guys. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So you just finished the West Coast tour.
Yep.
All up on the West Coast,
All
and
up
now
on
you're
the West
headed to like Europe. Like what's going on with your tours now? Where
It's
are you
a
up to
lot.
next?
But yeah, we did West Coast tour starting from Long Beach to Palm Springs, and then all the way up to Half Moon Bay, up finishing in Seattle, and a lot of stuff. And then
Yes. Can we acknowledge that she sold out these shows? Come on, let's acknowledge that. Like,
thank you. Thank you.
this is when they enter the applause sound right now, because everyone should be applauding now.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
How was that?
That was great.
Okay. Just saving you some tech work. But yeah.
That's fantastic. So you're off to Europe.
Off to Europe soon. Later this year, I'll be, and then actually, yes, in the summer, I'll be with an orchestra, and I'm promoting another album. There's a lot happening.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
So wait, because you do have a single that just dropped with the orchestra.
I did. Yeah.
Okay, tell me about the
Yep.
single.
It's called "You've Changed," and it is the music you hear behind it is a 60-piece live orchestra that we recorded in Portugal. Yeah, it's amazing. And then you even hear the singers back there. There's like 3 singers in the background just singing some of the. You'll hear it, and it's all live.
Oh my gosh.
One take. It's
One take.
Yep.
One take.
Yeah, one was a
That
rehearsal
is
and then one was a
so
recording.
hard.
Yeah.
60 instruments, one take.
Yep. So that's
Wow.
what you're hearing when you hear that.
And what's the name of the single? Say it one more time.
It's called "You've Changed."
You've Changed. You've got to check out the single.
Yeah, it's a Billie Holiday tribute, the record, for Billie Holiday's Lady in Satin record. And it's just a remake of our version.
Oh, how beautiful. Now, did the orchestra in Spain reach out to you, or did you reach out to them? How did that collaboration
A little bit
happen?
of both. Like,
Yeah.
I've always wanted to pay tribute to Billie Holiday, and they reached out and said, hey, there's this album, Lady in Satin, if you haven't checked it out, from back in, I think, it's 1950s at some point. And if you hear it, it's timeless. And we all got together and just did our part, and I flew in, and they were already had music ready to go, and we decided to record it instead of just do the performance. And now we're going to release it for the world to hear.
Oh
a lot
my
of people have been
gosh.
asking for an orchestra album, so yeah, y'all be the first to hear it.
Yes! I'm so excited about that.
Super happy.
So, talking about tributes, I know Billie Holiday is one of the women that influenced you. There's tons of women, but I learned not too long ago that you were heavily influenced by Luther Vandross.
Come on, you don't even know Luther Vandross. He might, other than my dad, he might be one of the, if not the biggest influence on my voice. The more I hear it and just listening to him,
What?
then I realize. So
Okay, so what was your first? We just watched this documentary called, what was the name of the documentary?
Never Too Much.
Never Too Much. So the Never Too Much documentary just exposed me to so much. When was your first interaction with Luther? Like, when did you first hear Luther Vandross and say,
That's my guy.
That's my guy.
My dad playing his stuff and just on the radio, like, Dance with My Father and House Is Not a Home. A chair was still a chair. Oh!
yes.
And I just remember, like, pulling over because I couldn't drive. I was so moved by his voice. And I was like, who is this man? So there's nobody like him. It's just Yes, he can't breathe an unsoulful note. His breath is soulful.
Yes, his breath is soulful. Like, do you, like, when I listen to Luther, one of the things that Luther does for me is, like, he's emotionally triggering. Like, every note is an emotion. It's,
Yes.
you know what I mean? You know, like, when it's that energetic, like, it's almost like he was destined
Yep.
for this work.
chosen,
He
like
was
you
chosen. He was chosen to be one of those creators on this earth.
Yep. That's right.
I mean, do you feel the same? Like, how did you?
Oh yeah. Yeah. When he sings, immediately you just start crying. It's like it's very rare to encounter that in the music world. I feel like.
Yeah.
Every note was thought out when he sings.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
So when you say he influences your music, in which ways does he influence your music?
His texture and his creativity of approaching a note versus just singing a straight note like ooh, go, ooh. You know, like he adds. He just paints with many colors with his voice, and it creates a beautiful picture that I've not really seen anybody else copy. So if we can get anything out of that, man, I feel like most musicians have at this point, whether they acknowledge it or not. That man, so soulful, soulful.
Yeah,
he embodies soul.
He does embody soul.
Yes.
Rest and power, Luther.
Yes.
I don't think there's. I mean, I think we were talking about this earlier. Like, there's no one really doing or carrying that torch right now.
There's not. No, please, if you're out there, we need to hear you.
Any Luthers out there, just come on out. We want to see y'all. We want to see y'all.
Long ago. Like, where is that? Where is it? We need that. And so,
so good. Now,
well, so in love, still in love. Don't get me carried away. I'm gonna get carried away.
Get carried away.
So you wanna be in love with me? Anyway.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Got me.
So no, I will not. But I'm so glad. I'm so glad to know. It's so refreshing to know when an artist is influenced by someone that you just wouldn't think about. Like, I just did not see. I didn't think about that when you were talking about influences. It was so good to hear that.
Oh, thank
yeah, because
you.
I don't think Luther gets enough flowers thrown in his way, you know.
That's right.
Yeah.
Come on. Luther Vandross, guys.
Yes, absolutely. So the last time we spoke, I know we got to wrap up, but the last time we spoke, we were talking about collecting cars.
Oh, no. Yes. Don't open my secret life.
Right. So I've got to ask, what's new? What's new? What's new? What new car are you looking at? Who are you fixing? What's happening?
I'm obsessed with cars, if you don't know that by now.
Yes.
So. But I think I've added a Viper.
You've added a Viper?
To my collection. I've had another one. I had an 03 Viper, but I have a 94 first gen Viper RT10 with a V10 6-speed manual. And then I just got a 392 Challenger with a 6-speed I'm fixing up and just, fixing it up. I've kind of realized I'm a Mopar girl, but I do love my Corvettes. I have a C7 and some old schools like a 59 Apache and a 66 Mustang, 69 Firebird, and 69 Cutlass. The list goes on. I like my diesel trucks too. I have a TRX truck with the 6.2 supercharged Hellcat motor.
Who is this artist that we
anyway,
call
yeah.
Kandace
So don't if you want to talk
Who is
cars,
this artist?
just come talk to me. I will talk to you all day about it. So. Or Luther.
Or Luther. Cars and Luther. That is our discovery for Kandace Springs on this trip. Kandace, how do people keep in contact with you?
You can find me on my social media if you want at Kandace Springs. That's it. Kandace Springs.
That's it.
Yep.
That's it. And one thing about your Instagram that I love is how much she shares about the behind the scenes process. So if you're an artist, you're an aspiring artist, and you want to learn more about the process, check out her socials.
Aw, thank you. Yes.
Yes, absolutely. Kandace Springs, Jodine Dorsey, you're tuned in to Capital Jazz TV.
Jodine.